The Islamic Council of Europe is a premier service provider in arbitration, reconciliation and mediation. Providing guidance and solutions based on Islamic principles, the Islamic Council of Europe aims to help Muslims who are seeking to conduct their affairs in accordance to Islamic guidelines. Services include advice and guidance on interpersonal, social and financial issues, marriage validation or dissolution, and help in resolving disagreements between disputing parties, either among spouses, families or business partners. All cases are handled by qualified Islamic advisors in the strictest confidence and utmost privacy. The Islamic Council of Europe, providing support, guidance and solutions.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers and sisters. Welcome to this special Ramadan Q&A hosted by the Islamic Council of Europe, supported by Huda Television here in the UK. Alhamdulillah, today we're going to go through some of the really important questions regarding the month of Ramadan that should be with us in a week's time, inshallah. I've got with me today, mashallah, Shaykh Haitham Al-Haddad. Assalamu alaikum, Shaykh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa
Jazakallah khair for being with us.
Jazakallah khair.
Barakallah fiqh,
Just
Shaykh.
for correction, okay,
Yes. Doctor?
I'm trying to always to be naughty.
Yes.
Maybe in a week time or less.
A week time or less. Okay. Yes, Jazakallah, ya Doctor. As you heard there, mashallah, a week time or less, inshallah, we should be, inshallah ta'ala, in this blessed month of Ramadan. Dr. Haitham, before we go into some of these questions, we've got a lot of questions started, a lot of brothers and sisters are sending them out. If you want to send out questions to us, you can send them via Facebook at facebook.com/ICEurope.org or Twitter. It should be coming up on your screen there, twitter.com/ICEurope.org, or via email, which is inquiries@ICEurope.org, or you can send them via WhatsApp, and the number should be on the screen, which is 07533 290 550. We will try to go through as much questions as possible. We may put them together if they're on the same topic, but please do start sending in the questions from now, inshallah. Sheikh, before we go into the questions, the month of Ramadan, taban, we all look forward to it. It's something that we make a dua, oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, make this month come quickly and let's witness this month. What kind of advice do we have for our brothers on a general and sisters on a general scale on how to welcome this month of Ramadan?
Yeah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. First of all, it was the habit of the Prophet ﷺ, the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, to welcome this month and to inform his companions about the glad tidings of this month. Yeah. كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يبشرنا بقدوم شهر رمضان. It was also the habit of the companions and the early generations, the righteous people, to welcome this month and to ask Allah Jalla ala 6 months ahead of Ramadan that Allah Jalla ala gives them the ability and the life to live during the month of Ramadan and to fast the entire month of Ramadan. So this is really a good practice, but actually this gives me an indication of something that is quite important. I will mention it now. Okay, actually, this is the first year I'm using this example, although I used a similar example previous years. This year, a brother, he sent a WhatsApp message, and it was really nice. He said that this was a genuine case, a genuine story. He said there is a person in Germany in 2012, he won a prize that was given a competition that was offered by one of the big stores, mega stores there, mega stores. So, and they told him that the prize is, we will give you 150, now I doubted it, 150 seconds or 150 minutes, to go to the store, pick whatever you want, pick up whatever you want in 150 minutes, maybe, let's just say minutes, and come out. Whatever you pick is yours. This is your prize. Okay? So, and this will happen in a particular date. Yeah? And everyone will be recording him, the cameras, etc., TV. So what did this man do? Yeah? They said that this man started to plan for the 150 minutes. Okay? So he was going every day, going to the store, checking, moving, checking the prices, planning if he were to take this appliance, that appliance, if he were to take them, how to take them, keep them away, how, okay? So he planned it very well. When the time of execution, which is the time of giving him the prize, he went immediately. He knew his way. He knew his plan. He took whatever he wanted to take. He maximized his time, the 150 minutes or seconds or whatever was given to him, and he came out, okay, with the appliances. And the cameras were recording him. Everyone was impressed with what he has achieved. They said that they were expecting him to collect maybe appliances worth 3,000 to 5,000 euro.
Yeah.
Okay, but he managed to collect appliances worth of 27 plus thousand euros.
He's a wise person, basically, you're saying.
Wow. How did he do that? He did that because he planned for it. And subhanallah, they say in management, if you fail to plan, you're actually planning for your failure. Okay. So now, I always say to myself and to my brothers and sisters, we always plan for everything. We plan for our the education of our children, for our holidays. We plan. Sometimes we do plan for Hajj, because it is a journey. We have to take holidays, etc. But do we plan for all of our ibadat? Are we planning for this month of Ramadan? What are we going to do in the month of Ramadan? See, this when what we mentioned about the Prophet ﷺ, that he used to give the glad tidings to his companions about the month of Ramadan, and what the companions and the other people used to ask Allah Jalla wa'ala 6 months ahead of Ramadan to keep them alive, to worship Allah Jalla wa'ala during the month of Ramadan. For me, this is a matter of planning. And you know, the psychological planning, the mental planning is the most important planning. Okay? Actually, today in the Islamic Council of Europe, we had a case, a very funny case, subhanallah, and very strange case. I had it maybe once or twice before that. The sister called and she was panicking and she was emotional, and she said that just a few days ago she had her nikah, but she's doubting the validity of the nikah. Why? She went to the nikah, okay, with her dress, with her relatives. Her father passed away, may Allah have rahmah on him. But she said that her wali, her uncle, came to her and tell her that, see, the imam will come and will ask you, okay, a question whether you are happy with the nikah, etc. And if you, okay, because you are happy, say I accept it. So she said, okay. He said to her, say I accept it. Then she said to me, he rushed to me, and then after that he told me the nikah is done. So she said, I was not psychologically or mentally ready. I thought that this is a briefing or this is a preparation. So because of that lack of mental preparation, lack of psychological preparation or readiness, she doubted herself whether that nikah is done or not, so she doesn't feel it. This is exactly the same.
So what you're saying, Shaykh, too, because what you've said there, it's quite a long story in terms of explaining it. You're just putting it down to one thing, that if we don't prepare properly, this month will go.
Yes.
You won't even get much benefit besides your hunger and
yes.
some of those pains. And then, where are you?
And this, see, this what happens to so many people. After 10 days, wow, 1/3 of the month has gone.
Yeah, it happens all the time, unfortunately.
Yeah, almost every time. Oh, subhanallah, the last 10 days of Ramadan are coming. Even the last 10 days of Ramadan, just we wake up, oh, it is the night of 27. Is this the night of Al-Qadr or not? Yeah, and then, subhanallah, the month of Ramadan passes so quickly, and people regret that they did not do as should have done. Now, all of us regret, but there is a difference between regret because you didn't do well and regret because you wish
to do more.
If you could do more.
Jazakallah khair. Okay, that goes well on to some of these questions that we've got. We're getting questions on these topics, on how to best prepare for Ramadan. We have some other questions. Let's touch on one of these. Sister Jumlias asked a question, and she says her daughter is a flight attendant, okay, And she said, how does she go about doing a sahur and a iftar, knowing that her flight times are changing when she's traveling? When she take her flight? She's put some specifics of countries and that, which is not easy to do. But you know, what's the advice, Sheikh? Somebody who's traveling through time zones, some brothers and sisters who are traveling throughout the country, how do they go about doing it?
This is a good question. There are two sides of this question. And recently we have received a similar question. Subhanallah, the brother, he works on the train system in Germany. In Holland. In Holland. And he said he constantly travels between Holland, Germany, Holland, Belgium, Holland, and different places. So he said, what am I going to do in Ramadan? First of all, see, my dear brothers and sisters, I know many of you might say otherwise, but if a person can minimize his work during the month of Ramadan, if he can still provide for his family, because this is a priority, if he can manage to do that, to minimize the hours he's working, the nature of the job, to accommodate for his fasting, to accommodate for his ibadah during this blessed month. Because if you miss that opportunity, you are really missing a lot. So if she can take a holiday or minimize it or have maybe office work, that would be better. I traveled sometimes in Ramadan, and really it is difficult. That's why, generally speaking, I avoided traveling in Ramadan. I remember one time I had to go to Qatar, and when we were coming back, we were confused about the time for Sihr, etc. We asked one of the sisters who worked there, and she knows the time, and she said, yeah, I know it is a bit confusing. It depends on how when we depart exactly, and and it is a bit confusing, and that's sometimes she said I take some precautions, etc. What we say, generally speaking, first of all, this is the advice. If you can minimize the number of hours you are working during the month of Ramadan, especially the last 10 days of Ramadan, or if you can have your job as much as you can, that is easy, or that is accommodating for your ibadah and your fasting, that would be much better. Now, for this sister and those who are working in a similar job, obviously the technical fatwa is, if the journey is quite long, it is a safar, and Allah Jalla wa Ala says, فَمَنْ كَانَ مِنْكُمْ مَرِيضًا أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ, or وَمَنْ كَانَ مَرِيضًا أَوْ عَلى سَفَرٍ فَعِدَّةٌ مِنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرٍ. فَعِدَّةٌ مِنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرٍ means they can make them up later.
So whoever's traveling, they can make this time up later.
Yes, which means that whoever is traveling, long distances, not just short distance, half an hour's journey or even 1 hour journey, long distances, 3-4 hours journey, they can break their fast, during the journey, but they must make those fasts up later. This is what Allah Jalla wa Ala said, and this was the practice of the Prophet ﷺ and the practice of the companions. So this is generally speaking. If it is a just short distance, like a person who's working on the railway system here in London, no, we say that this is not a journey that allows you to break your fast. Now, in terms of the time of sahur technically, is the time of sahur where you are. So, for example, let us say that she was traveling from Istanbul to London. Now, in Istanbul, she should treat herself as people who are living in Istanbul. So if the time of sahur is Istanbul is different from the time of sahur in London, but she is now in Istanbul, so she should consider the timing of Istanbul. If she was traveling from London to Istanbul, or vice versa, or maybe from London to another country in the West, where there might be, or from Istanbul actually to London, because that is the critical time, because you are traveling with the direction of the sun. So you consider where you are. So imagine if you are in the middle in the flight, so you need to consider the time at that point. Is this the time for sahur? Is this the time for fajr? Is this the time to break your fast? And so on. This is the general advice. Now, if the person is confused, he should or she should estimate the time and put like a safety time in order to make sure that he is, inshallah, fasting correctly.
Jazakallah khair. Okay, I mean, one thing I get from that question, Shaykh, which you put, which is something which we don't hear that often, by the way. It's strange to say the least. Is your advice to say the month of Ramadan is that special that you should take holidays in it?
Yeah, exactly.
And
exactly.
change your lifestyle due to it.
Yes, exactly.
Which is,
if that
mashallah,
is
something
possible,
different, mashallah, but it makes you understand the importance of this month.
really, if that is possible, many of the early scholars used to stop so many activities during the month of Ramadan. Yeah, Imam Malik used to stop teaching people Islam, okay, in order to dedicate himself to read Quran. Imam Shafi'i used to do the same thing. Imam Abu Hanifa used to do the same thing. Now, the Prophet ﷺ used to dedicate himself in the last 10 days of Ramadan doing nothing, okay, except staying in the masjid to observe i'tikaf. Although, that the first and the major battle in Islam took place in 17th of Ramadan, which is the battle of Badr, okay, in the second year of Hijrah. So it took place in Ramadan. The Fath of Mecca, opening Mecca, took place in Ramadan. So the jihad, and these major incidents took place in Ramadan. So the Prophet ﷺ wouldn't abandon anything, wouldn't leave anything except if there is a real need for that, a major reason for that. Okay, so he used to abandon these things in the last 10 days of Ramadan just to dedicate himself for ibadah.
Jazakallah Shaykh. Okay, let's go on to some other questions. Got a question here for Brother Muhammad Rahman, mashallah. The question is quite self-explanatory. We're going to get many questions like this, and we have, regarding somebody who needs to make up previous fast from a previous Ramadan, of course, especially due to pregnancy.
Yes.
What's the answer to that, Shaykh?
Yeah. Okay, this is a very, as you said, this is a common question. See, we always say, for example, Allah, first of all, Allah Jalla wa Ala says, فَمَنْ كَانَ مِنْكُمْ مَرِيضًا أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ. The verse that we have mentioned, on part of the verse that we have mentioned in Surah Al-Baqarah. Whoever is on a journey or is ill, then he can or she can break, they can break their fast during Ramadan and make it up. They must make it up later. And that was the practice of the companions. And the scholars said, the marid, the ill person, this description includes the people who are pregnant ladies, and also to a certain degree the breastfeeding ladies. Okay, the breastfeeding ladies, when they feel that either they might become ill if they fast during pregnancy or breastfeeding, or their children might suffer because of this. So that's why it is almost the consensus of all the scholars that they must make it up later. Now, there might be a view that they can pay fidya instead of making those days up. This is an odd view. It should not be followed. You must make them up. Unless you can't, you are permanently ill, okay, you can't, then that is another discussion. Now, if the original principle is, if you miss certain days of Ramadan, you must make them before the coming Ramadan, before the next Ramadan. Yeah? And most of the scholars believe that if you neglect doing that, okay, and you make them up after next Ramadan, then you have to make them up, plus you have to pay fidya per day, because this is the fatwa of some of the companions. Paying fidya is not the issue, because some other scholars said you don't need to pay fidya. Paying fidya is not the issue, but the issue is we should not be relaxed in making up those days. Yeah, this is a very common question. I ask people normally, why couldn't you make them up? Yes, our sisters, our daughters, mothers, wives, they have an excuse. If they were pregnant, if they were breastfeeding, it might be difficult for them. But if they try, at least during winter time, the days are short, okay, they don't need to drink plenty of water or fluids, they can make it up. Other brothers, sometimes they miss some days due to illnesses, due to traveling, due to valid reasons, but they are not putting enough effort to make those days up. Yeah, and that is a mistake. We should try to make them up as quick as possible. Now, still there are few days, 3-4 days or 5 days. If they can make whatever, if they can make it up before Ramadan, that will be advisable. If they can't, then maybe after Ramadan, after this Ramadan, and I always advise to be on the safe side, to pay fidya, which is to feed one poor person, per day. So they have to fast and pay fidya. So if they missed 5 days, they must fast 5 days plus paying fidya, for 5 poor persons, feeding 5 poor persons. One person per day.
But the fidya, of course, is not a either an or. It's something that needs to be done as an extra.
Yes, because the person missed making up those days in the right time.
Okay, great. Let's go to a couple of other questions. Got a question from Brother Uddin here. He's asking about some of the things that are done in Ramadan, and he said these are copied from some of the other faiths. So for example, Ramadan calendars, which look a bit like Advent calendars that you see in Christmas, which have little boxes that you can open up on different days and have different sweets and so forth. Basically, how far can we go, Shaykh, in terms of using some of these things that other faiths use in their special times in the month of Ramadan themselves?
Yeah, see, if Muslims got to use them and they became like the activities to be done in Ramadan, and they became known for Ramadan events, then it can be overlooked. But if they are known to be the activities of other faiths, and it is known that if we do them, it will be seen as if we are copying the other faith, or the other faiths, then it's better to leave them. Why? Because the Prophet ﷺ said, "Man tashabbaha biqawmin fahuwa minhum." Whoever imitates. Now, whoever imitates means intentionally doing something to imitate others. This is one condition. The second condition, he is doing something, maybe he doesn't intend to imitate others, but the outlook of that, as if he intended to simulate or to look like the other faiths. If that is not there, then inshallah there is some flexibility with
great.
that.
All right, we have a couple of questions here from Brother Yahya. One of them is regarding our sisters and praying Taraweeh. This is a question that happens sometimes, and I think it needs to be expressed, Shaykh. When it comes to our sisters praying Taraweeh, what's your recommendation? At home, in the masjid? Should they make it a special date for them regarding that Jama'ah and Taraweeh doesn't happen every year? What should they do in this time?
This is really a very good question. A very good question. See, first of all, my dear sisters, I know that this might open a can of worms, but see, the Prophet ﷺ made it clear, that salatul mar'ati fi baytiha khayrun min salatiha fi masjidiha. And in the narration, even salatul mar'ati fi baytiha khayrun min salatiha fi masjidi hada. The salah of the lady at her home is better than her salah in the masjid of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is not me, who is saying this. This is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself. And by the way, this is a matter of consensus by all the scholars. However, they were discussing, that if she goes to the masjid, that doesn't mean that she's not allowed to pray in the masjid. Again, this is a matter of consensus by all the scholars, that she is allowed to pray in the masjid. However, it is far better for her to pray in her place, in her home, at home. Now, if the question is, if she can come out, to pray in the masjid, and there is no fitna involved, she will be safe. There is no fitna, means she will live in a modest clothes, there will be no fitna, that okay, she might attract the attention of men, etc. This type of fitna, okay, and she's going to be safe, and her mahram allowed her to go, her husband allowed her to go with these three conditions, then she can go. Now, if these conditions are there, and if she goes, she will attend the salah. If she doesn't go, she will become lazy. Yeah, she will become lazy. So what is better? Yeah, then in this case we say to her, no, it's better that you go, not because of going, but it is better that you are taking certain steps to what? To perform your salah. To perform your salah and ibadah. However, the problem is many of our sisters, they just say, if I stay home, I will not pray. My dear sister, do you want the best or do you want just to go? Definitely the best is to struggle among yourself and you do it, okay, by yourself at home. This is the highest level.
Shaykh, let me just interject here.
Yeah.
Taraweeh at home, even for brothers, is difficult. Okay, for example, reading the Mus'haf, knowing the amount of Quran and so forth. How should a sister or sisters go about doing it? Say the sister doesn't know much Quran. How should she go about it?
Okay, so if she doesn't know much Quran, she can carry on the Mus'haf. And one of the wives of the Prophet ﷺ did this. She was carrying the Mus'haf and reading from the Mus'haf.
Leading other sisters or by herself or what?
If she wants, she can do it by herself. If she wants to lead other sisters, she can lead other sisters. That's not a problem. Okay, you know, even the scholars said that for a person, even for brothers, those who want to do Taraweeh by themselves at home, they said, some scholars said, doing it by yourself at home is better for you. Okay, if there is no fitna involved, that why you are not praying Taraweeh in the masjid, okay, and you are able to do it yourself, many scholars said yes, do it by yourself, okay, if you are able to do so. Why is this? Because Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu, when he passed by the companions after he gathered them together to pray behind Ubay ibn Ka'b, he was not praying himself, okay, because maybe he was praying later, and he said وَالَّتِي تَنَامُونَ عَنْهَا أَفْضَلُ, and those, okay, you are praying Taraweeh now, but the Taraweeh that you are missing, okay, because you go to bed, okay, which is the Taraweeh at the end or the last part of the night, okay, it is better. So some scholars said from these we take an indication that if a person can do Taraweeh by himself, okay, then that would be better for him.
Jazakallah khair. Okay, we've got a couple of more questions from Sister Nusayba. Asked a couple of questions. Let me see if I can get through them. One of them is the regular question we have regarding Miswak and toothpaste. Can that be used while fasting, Shaykh?
Yeah. Okay. First of all, Miswak, Miswak or toothbrush.
Yeah.
You can use it with no problem, okay, during your fast. Some scholars said don't use it because it might remove the smell that is intended by Sharia, and other scholars said no, there is no smell, there is no negative bad smell that is intended by Sharia. Okay, in fact the Prophet ﷺ, it was confirmed that the Prophet ﷺ used to do miswak, okay, many times during fasting, and it is not decent. Okay, and here let me just warn the brothers and sisters, you know, because we use public transportation in here in London and in many other cities, in many other European countries, and many of our brothers and sisters, they work alongside with either Muslims or non-Muslims. It is not decent at all that you come because you are fasting and people cannot approach you, or you cannot just be close to people due to your bad breath. Okay, so this is not a good thing, really. So make sure, my dear brothers and sisters, that we are clean, tidy, we have the right smell. Okay, so using miswak is not a problem at all. Using the brush is not a problem at all. The problem is using a toothpaste. Okay, now toothpaste, the problem with that, if the person use it, okay, uses it, he will feel the smell of it, he will feel the taste of it, okay, in his mouth, it will mix with the saliva. So the person, and we have seen this, he will try to just to keep spitting. And that's why I personally advise to avoid using toothpaste, yeah, or mouthwash during fasting.
Okay, regarding the saliva, the sister has a sub question. When it comes to saliva, while using the miswak, you swallow that saliva or you spit it out? The sister's asking.
See, my dear sisters, okay, in particular our sisters and our brothers, sometimes they do ask this question. Don't dig too much regarding these questions. Use your miswak, okay, take it out, that's it. Don't be worried about the saliva. Oh, this saliva, okay, now but I am swallowing it again. I'm swallowing it again. It means that, okay, maybe I'm breaking my fast, or maybe I am swallowing part of the miswak. Okay, don't have wiswas. It will make you crazy. Yeah.
Okay.
Just do it normally. Yeah. The saliva, your saliva, of course, you can swallow it. That is not a problem.
Jazakallah khair. We've got a couple of questions on zakah here.
Yeah.
So they're all piling up actually. Let's go through some of them. All right.
Yeah.
One of the questions from Sister Nasiba as well actually was regarding giving zakah on jewelry, Shaykh.
Yes.
Okay. Now let me put the other question slightly, and then you can go through. Regarding zakah, a lot of people give it in the month of Ramadan.
Yeah.
Okay. And these are what the questions are going to come up. So regarding zakah on jewelry, on watches which have jewels on it.
Yes.
What do we do about that?
Yes. This is a good question. Actually, let me take advantage, okay, as this question was mentioned. I was on Islam channel a few days ago, actually 2 days ago.
MashaAllah.
Yeah, today is Thursday. Yeah. I was there yesterday. Okay. And the same question came. But this time I really like this question. Why? This is
you didn't like the way I said it? You didn't like
No. Okay. I liked what you said, but that question was even better. Okay. It met
you like the way it was said. Okay.
No. I'll explain it. Okay. See, she said, Sheikh, I called on Islam channel on Islamica, and the Mufti told me that I asked him about giving zakah on jewelries, and the Mufti told me give zakah on jewelry, and this is the Hanafi school of thought. A few days later, I called again, and there was another scholar, I forgot his name, and he told me, no, if you are using it, okay, for adornment, for pleasure, then you don't need to give zakah. So she said, Sheikh, I'm confused now. What am I going to do? Yeah, that's why I really liked it. So I said to everyone, my dear brothers and sisters, and I said, my dear muftis, those who give fatwas, the scholars, we need to put attention to this. Now, this issue, there are two views. Yeah, the Jumhur, which is, the Malikis, the Shafi'is, and the
Jumhur, the greater opinion on the greater message.
And the Hanbalis, they believe that you should not give zakah.
On jewelry?
Now, on jewelry.
Okay.
Golden jewelry, not just...
jewelry which has gold in it, basically, or gold...
the gold in the jewelry.
Okay.
Not all jewelries.
Okay.
The gold or silver in the jewelries.
Okay.
And I mentioned a hadith when a lady came to the Prophet ﷺ and he asked her, do you give your zakah? And she said, no, I didn't. So the Prophet ﷺ was not happy with that. Okay, and he said, okay, are you pleased if Allah Jalla wa'ala punishes you on the day of resurrection? So these hadith indicate that you must give zakah, and this is the opinion that is held by the Hanafi school of thought, plus it is one of the opinions of the Hanbalis as well. Now, what to do? As a mufti, as a scholar, people are asking you. If you say to this opinion, someone else will ask another scholar and he will give the other opinion. So where to go? So that's why I am suggesting in these circumstances that the mufti or the scholar, he would explain the two views, and then he would select the safest view and he will present it to the audience.
When you mean safest, what do you mean by safest?
Okay. So, but first of all, he needs to explain that there are two views. This is provided that there are two views
Okay.
in reality.
Right.
If there is one view, which means that the mas'ala, the issue is a matter of consensus between scholars, or it is the opinion of the overwhelming majority of scholars, then the other view has no status, no value, no weight.
Okay.
We are not talking about that situation. We are talking about a situation where there are what? Two views. Okay?
Both strong and
both
held,
strong, etc.
Yeah.
So what to do in this case? Present both views and recommend people to go for the safest opinion. What is the safest opinion in this? Okay, for example, in this scenario, the safest opinion is to give zakah. Definitely. Why is this? Because if you give zakah, no one will blame you. Agree?
Yeah.
You will not losing anything. You are not risking anything. However, if you go for the other opinion that don't give zakah, or you are not obliged to give zakah, what will happen? You are risking it, because according to the other side, you must give zakah, and if you don't give zakah, you are sinful.
So safest here, you are saying which doesn't cause sin upon you.
Yes,
That's what you're basically
yes,
saying.
which doesn't risk you.
Risk you. So the risk, of course, is
the risk of sin, or the risk of that this leads to some other consequences, some other major sins, or something of that nature, or major consequences, or something of that nature.
Okay, Jazakallah. Can you believe it, Sheikh? We've got so much things to speak about, and time is running fast. So we've got some more questions about zakah. I'm going to see if we can ask our editor to extend the program slightly. I know we've got Maghrib Salah. Okay, when it comes to zakah, giving zakah abroad, is it better to give to charities here in the UK or to give to charities abroad? That's a general question, Sheikh.
Yeah.
A general question.
See, now zakah, zakah. The Prophet ﷺ said to Mu'adh radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, when he was instructing him how to give zakah, when Mu'adh traveled to Yemen, he said فَأَعْلِمْهُمْ, he said invite them to believe in Allah. If they accepted that, invite them to perform the salah. If they accepted that, invite them to give the zakah. The zakah, it is an amount of charity taken from their poor people, taken from their rich people to be given to their poor people.
That's right.
Okay, so the scholars said it is better to give your zakah, where you live. Yeah, where you live doesn't mean in your political country.
You mean by national boundaries?
Yeah, I don't mean by national boundaries. I mean the people around you locally. Okay, so for example, if you are living in London, give it in London. If you are living in Manchester, give it in Manchester. If you are living in France, in Paris, give it to Paris, to people there. If you are living in Egypt, in Cairo, giving it to the people in Cairo, and so on. This is the general theme. That is better. However, all of them agree that if you transfer the zakah to another country because of a valid reason, then that is better. There is no problem with that whatsoever. All the scholars agreed to that. For example, they said that if you have some far relatives living abroad, then it might be better that you give it to your far relatives who are living abroad. Now, the scholars also said that if there is a famine, in another country, or a desperate situation in another country, and in your country that famine is not there, or that desperate situation is not there, then maybe consider it to give it to what? To other countries. Sometimes you must be obliged to transfer your zakah. How? If in your country, people generally speaking are, surviving. But in other countries, people are dying, because they do not find the basics. Then no, in this case, you must help the other people who are dying in other countries, even if you need to transfer your zakah. And to be honest with you, this is the situation now. I believe that, generally speaking, people in Europe, people in Britain, for example, Muslims in Britain, they are okay. Maybe there are some poor people, but they are able to find a shelter above their heads. They are able to find some food. They are able to find some clothes, etc. Yeah? But we all know, yeah, the situation in Syria. Yeah? People in Syria, in some cities in Syria, they were eating dead flesh. Yeah? There, I don't know whether this is still happening, but they were dying, literally dying, because they could not find food. Last year, I don't know about this year, Haitham Al-Haddad in Syria, yeah, they said every day a few people die because of lack of food or medicine in Haitham Al-Haddad next to Damascus. This year, they described the situation in Haitham Al-Haddad to be really terrible. Okay? Forget about Syria. Now, Gaza is under siege. Yeah? And people in Gaza, they are really suffering. And there are reports from Gazan people that they are unable to find enough sustenance, enough medication. Okay, leave Gaza. Yeah? There are some areas in... Okay, leave all of this. What about Yemen? They say people now, the reports...
This is the worst humanitarian crisis.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said this is the worst humanitarian crisis that the world have seen in the last, I don't know, 30, 40 years.
Okay, Shaykh, just to do, because we've got so many questions on Zakat, we might as well take all of them while we're here.
Sorry for that.
No, it's great because you're just explaining the importance of Zakat. One of the questions is here regarding Zakat now is being used for other than that what Allah. So I don't understand what the question is saying.
Yeah.
But from what it seems like they're saying is that Zakat has certain purposes.
Yeah.
Are the purposes to help the ummah? Is it a local zakah only? What are the purposes of zakah? Because the brother's asking, I don't think zakah has been used for what the Prophet used it for. So explain, Shaykh, what's going on here?
See, one of the early scholars, Maymun ibn Mahran, okay, he was a great scholar and he was a philosopher, okay. He said a very beautiful statement, commenting on the verse of Surah Tawbah. Yeah, he said Allah Jalla wa'ala did not allow anyone to distribute zakah and to list the people who are eligible to zakah. Himself did it. Okay, Allah Jalla wa'ala himself did it. Why he said this? He was commenting on the verse when Allah Jalla wa'ala says, إنما الصدقات للفقراء والمساكين والعاملين عليها والمؤلفة قلوبهم وفي الرقاب والغارمين وفي سبيل الله وابن السبيل فريضة من الله. Yeah? Allah Jalla wa'ala listed the 8 recipients of zakah.
8 categories of...
8 categories, okay, of the recipients of zakah. Now the scholar said that when Allah Jalla wa'ala puts details for certain activities, it means that Allah Jalla wa'ala is intending those details. Okay? You cannot overlook those details. Okay? For example, Allah Jalla wa'ala said, sadaqat to be given, yeah, to fuqara, masakin. Fuqara, poor people. Masakin, they are little bit above the poor people. Yeah? Okay, so for example, the fact that Allah Jalla wa'ala differentiated between the very devastated people, yeah, and the people who are poor, little bit better than the completely devastated people, they said it means that Allah Jalla wa'ala wants zakah to be given to those and those only. Okay, that's why Allah Jalla wa'ala said zakah to be given to the fuqara, then the degree that is little bit better, al-masakin. Then Allah Jalla wa'ala said, وَالْعَامِلِينَ عَلَيْهَا وَالْعَامِلِينَ عَلَيْهَا, those who are appointed by the leader of the Muslims to take zakah and they do not have any means, okay, to use to collect zakah. Yeah, so no one can use it by himself and say, I'm among the people who collect zakah. Yeah, وَالْعَامِلِينَ عَلَيْهَا وَالْمُؤَلَّفَةِ قُلُوبُهُم, and those who are they are either Muslims but their Islam is weak, if we do not give them from zakah, they might leave Islam, or those who are non-Muslims, and if we give them zakah, it is likely that they receive they enter Islam. Yeah. And then Allah Jalla ala continued to list the categories of those 8 people, which means that we cannot put one box for all these people, because as you can see that there is a variety of people, and each one was described, and the level that it was described means that it is different from the second category. So therefore we cannot put them under one box, and we can say the zakah is to be given to help the Muslim ummah. Helping the Muslim ummah can include so many things. Running a TV channel,
an Islamic TV channel,
TV channel. Does it help them or not?
Of course it does.
Yeah. Now can we say that this TV channel or any other TV channel is eligible to take zakah? Yeah. Can we say that maybe helping the ummah by for building certain buildings for maybe homeless people? Yeah, this is helping the ummah. Can we say that we give zakah to build those countries, to those buildings? Helping people. What about for example, some poor countries? Can we say we give zakah to the governments of those poor countries to build roads? Yeah? And under helping the situation of the ummah, there can be so many things.
This expansion that you're speaking about, Shaykh, are you saying that basically this expansion, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it very clear what the expansion was, if there was any, and that if we've had 1450 or 1500 years of understanding what zakah is for Muslim communities, whether they're minorities or not minorities, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it clear what it is throughout the time.
Exactly. So this is the second point. Now, none of the scholars have accepted this, what you called expansion. None of the scholars. None of the scholars. And as you said, that this was the practice of the ummah for the last 1400 years. Now can we, and by the way, the ummah went through difficulties, maybe more than the difficulties that we went through now, or we are going through now.
Maybe this is one of the issues that we have sometimes. We believe that what we're going through today is the
unbelievable,
worst.
worst.
Because we're sitting in
imagine, we lost the Khilafah at one point. Muslims were killed as well in Baghdad. Muslims, were in a very terrible situation. But no one has the gut to change the deen, or to manipulate the deen, or to claim that, look, we are now in a terrible situation. The discussion that some contemporary scholars said now is the word fi sabilillah, because this is the last category of the 8 categories. Does it include building mosques? Does it include da'wah? This is the discussion.
This is category number 7 you're talking about, not 8.
Yeah.
So you're talking number 7, which is fi sabilillah.
Fi sabilillah. Yeah.
Now, this is classically understood to be what, Shaykh?
Fi sabilillah, classically understood that it is for jihad. Supporting jihad in different ways. But fi sabilillah here, this 7th category includes the other 7 categories. If you look at it, that it doesn't mean jihad. Because صدقة for فقراء is في سبيل الله, لمساكين في سبيل الله, للمؤلفة قلوبهم, all of it is في سبيل الله. Even Ibn Sabil is في سبيل الله. Everything is في سبيل الله. Yes or no?
Yes, of course.
So what is the point of mentioning it as a different category?
To make it distinct.
To make it distinct, and to distinguish that from the other 7 categories.
So the distinction of that category was therefore purposed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Of course, and that's why the vast majority of scholars said that this fi sabilillah here refers to jihad. And by the way, those, for example, those scholars who said that let us use the zakah money to build mosques, because mosques is fi sabilillah. We say no, you are missing the point. We as Muslims must build mosques, establish mosques from our own money.
Sadaqah.
Yes, sadaqah. See, one big problem. People think that the only duty in your in your money is what? Is zakah. Once you pay zakah, you are not obliged to give anything else.
When Allah speaks about sadaqah, yusaddiqu, giving sadaqah, the people return.
Not only that, but maintaining your family.
Yes, yes.
This is, you must maintain your family outside zakah.
So true.
Okay, so this is what? This is money that you must give other than zakah. Yeah, and not only that, there are so many other obligations, financial obligations, that you must give besides zakah. Don't think that the only financial obligation is due in your money is zakah. This is the confusion. Okay, so for example, building mosques. Muslims must build mosques. Yeah, they cannot say, okay, I'll give my zakah to build mosque, because see, it is like maintenance. Maintaining your father is a must outside zakah.
Yeah.
Now the question is, can I maintain my father from my zakah money?
You have a question here, can I maintain my brother from zakah money?
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Can I maintain, let us make that it clear. Can I maintain my father or my mother from zakah? All the scholars said no. Why is this? Because they said you must maintain them from your own money. Because if you maintain them from your zakah, you are combining, you are hitting two birds by one stone. So you are avoiding two obligations by paying what? By paying one obligation. So you are avoiding zakah and maintenance by giving zakah. So you have what? Okay, you use zakah to avoid another obligation. Similarly, if zakah is used to benefit you, this zakah can be invalid. Yeah? So if zakah is used to avoid another obligation, yeah, then you are committing something haram. Yeah? So that's why, for example, building mosques. Yeah? Now, if Muslims, imagine, if Muslims living in a city, and they said, we don't have enough money to give zakah to build a mosque. And therefore they did not build a mosque. And therefore they did not pray jama'ah. We say to them, you are sinful because you do not have a mosque. So what shall we do? You need to save money. Even if you do not have, you need to save money in order to build mosques. Okay, if they say we will wait for our zakah money, we say no. Zakah is an obligation and building a mosque is another obligation. Don't combine them, okay, to make them one obligation. Don't hit two birds by one stone.
Okay, so if you're speaking about obligations, Shaykh, I've got some more questions regarding giving zakah in this month for other activities which were much more broader than this.
Yes.
Are you saying that we need to stop hiding behind the usage of zakah, which Allah has put forward in a certain way, and start really working on really sacrificing in terms of sadaqah?
Yes. Some of the sadaqah is obligatory.
Yeah.
Some of the sadaqah is voluntarily. My dear brothers and sisters, I always say this. Don't think that my obligations are limited to zakah. Yeah? If I give zakah, khalas, I am free. What about sadaqah? Why don't people give sadaqah? Why don't people give sadaqah to build houses for widows, to build orphanage houses, to support countries, to build roads, to improve the welfare of the ummah? Zakah is just to cover the basic needs of the individuals. Okay? Or what supports that. This is zakah.
Okay.
That's why, see, from another perspective, okay, take the following example. They said, okay, you have two people. One person is literally dying if you do not buy him or her food from your zakah. Literally dying. And there is another person who is surviving, yes, but he is weak. Who is surviving. So we have two people. One is dying and another person is surviving but he is weak. which one you give zakah to?
The one who's just going to die, the one who's right there, right in
Why?
front of you.
Why?
Because they may pass away. They're most in need, basically.
Exactly. Are we allowed to give the weak person, yeah, and to let the other person die? Impossible. No one would say this. Why? Because we are allowed a person to die while we could have saved him. We allowed a Muslim to die while we could have saved him. Okay, imagine another scenario. We have a situation like the Sahara Desert. Yeah. People, young people are losing their eyesight. The tablet, okay, the tablet is, they said it's just 10p. Okay, yeah, it might save their eyesight. And on the other side, we have there people have some clothes, but not suitable clothes.
They're not clothed well or suitable. They're very poor, just about
covering their awrah, or even forget about covering their awrah. They don't have clothes to cover their awrah. But those children will lose their eyesight. Yeah, they need to buy just £1 to buy the basic, not food, but medicine to save their eyesight. And the other people, they need money to clothe themselves. Which one is deserving the zakah, or is more deserving the zakah?
The child.
The child who is losing his eyesight. This is not an emotional discussion. This is a rational discussion based on Quran and Sunnah. Because, Allah Jalla wa'ala, first of all, Allah Jalla wa'ala listed those who are eligible to zakah based on what? The level of their need. That's why Allah Jalla wa'ala started with what? Al-Fuqara, followed by the Masakin, because Al-Fuqara is in more need than the Masakin.
Okay, Shaykh, I think we've done a lot of questions on zakah. We've got some more later on, but we'll try to move on. Okay, Jazakallah khair. We've got a question from brother Rashid here. He says, my 10-year-old brother-in-law last year made an intention that he'll fast a whole month of Ramadan this year, inshallah, mashallah. So he's in year 6, he's going to do his SATs, he says. He just realized that the time of the exams fall in the month of Ramadan. It's going to be quite difficult for him. He's asking for advice on fasting and coping with exams, and if he will be accountable if he misfast on exam days. This is a 10-year-old, mashallah, who's thinking about Ramadan.
Okay. First of all, is attending exams an excuse not to fast? And the answer is no. Okay. Like we say, you know, the year before, okay, or 2 years ago, I was in Saudi Arabia. And in Riyadh, the temperature was 48.
Subhanallah.
And there are workers, miskin, working under the sun. Either 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning, or 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the evening. Now, these are the people who need to break their fast. But we say no, that in of itself is not an excuse. What is an excuse? If this person is genuinely speaking falling ill because of that, or is likely to fall ill because of that, then okay, that is an excuse. Sharia gave consideration for these circumstances. Similarly, the person who is attending exams, if he can manage, I know it is difficult, then they are not allowed to break their fast whatsoever. And by the way, there are so many studies that said if the person tried and pushed himself, the body will what? Will adapt. In fact, there are some studies that said that less food in certain times might activate the brain, okay, to work. Let us not go to that level, okay, because someone might say no, yes or no. But the Sharia is clear about it. Islam is clear about it. If the person he is falling ill or is likely to fall ill because of this, then that is the excuse, not the exams.
And the fact that he's 10 years old, Sheikh?
So the 10 years old is the same. We say to him, we encourage him to fast. Okay. Now, if he can't fast, then we should tell him, yeah, if you can't fast, it's up to you. It's better for you to fast. Okay. If you can't fast, alhamdulillah. Because he can't fast, not because of exams. Yeah, not because of exams, but because he doesn't fast. He can't fast. Yeah.
Jazakallah khair, Shaykh. Okay, we've got a question from brother Abu Qais here. He basically says, I'm a constant traveller between two cities, 3 days in London, the rest of the time in Leicester. What advice do you give him in regards to Taraweeh, keeping up his strength, because he's travelling all the time, as you know, and he doesn't really want to lose this reward in Ramadan, okay?
Yeah, that is a very good question, and let us refer to the answer that we have given in the in the beginning of this episode. We said, brothers and sisters, if you can avoid the traveling, if you can avoid these kind of jobs that might distract you from getting the maximum of this month, then do that. Okay? Then do that. That is your priority. Because obviously, like this brother, you will be asking about fasting, you will be asking about your Taraweeh, you will be asking about your timing, you will be asking about, reading Quran, you will be disturbed, you will be more tired, you will be, and in many cases, or in some cases, you might break your fast. Okay? Okay, take for example, breaking your fast. Yes. You are allowed, as Allah Jalla wa Ala says, فَمَنْ كَانَ مِنْكُمْ مَرِيضًا أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ فَعِدَّةٌ مِنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرَ. You can break your fast. But definitely, my dear brothers and sisters, fasting during the month of Ramadan is far better than making those days up later. Because of the virtue of the time of Ramadan. Ramadan itself is a very virtuous time. That's why placing fasting during it has more virtues.
Okay, Jazakallah khair. All right, we've got a question here from Brother Nash. He said, what's the best advice for office working Muslims? Now, basically, many of our brothers and sisters are working, like it says, an average 8 o'clock to 7 o'clock. They leave the house. They're in the office every single day. How can they maximize this month of Ramadan? He's asking.
So, okay. See, my dear brothers and sisters, during the office time, it is very unlikely that you are able to do anything else, okay? Because amana, it is a matter of trust, and the contract does not allow you to do any other activities, okay? However, okay, if your contract allows you to do other activities, okay, then maybe you can increase the amount of recitation of Quran, the amount of ibadah, if the contract allows you to do so. However, even in many brothers, when they are doing office work, okay, they can still make dhikr of Allah Jalla wa Ala.
This is within Ramadan or without Ramadan, Shaykh?
Within Ramadan, without Ramadan, but if it is in Ramadan, they should be more keen to do dhikr of Allah Jalla wa Ala even while they are doing office work.
So can you break that down, Shaykh, when you're saying dhikr of Allah?
Yeah, so they can say, see,
a practical guide, basically.
Practical guide. Practical guide. The Prophet ﷺ said, whoever says La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir, 100 times a day, Allah Jalla wa Ala will give him 5 things. Yeah? Allah Jalla wa Ala will consider it for him as if he had freed the 10 slaves of 10 slaves, Muslim slaves. Allah Jalla wa Ala will give him 100 hasana. Allah Jalla wa Ala will remove 100 sayyah from him. Allah Jalla wa Ala will save him from the shaitan the rest of his day. And Allah Jalla wa Ala will give him a reward. No one will be given that reward except a person did what he did and more. Okay? That. Now tell me, when you are traveling, when you are moving from your house to the public transportation, to the bus or to the station, or can you say that or not?
Yes.
Yeah. See, as one brother told me, Wallahi Shaykh, it is true. In average, I take almost 10 hours to travel from my house to the train station.
No, 10 hours, 10 minutes.
Sorry, 10 minutes. Yeah, 10 minutes. He said, in 10 minutes, I found that in 10 minutes I can finish the 100 times. Yeah? He said, when I travel, I almost spend 45 minutes, 50 minutes, 1 hour to go to my workplace in the train using a tube or bus. He said, I found that at least I can read one juzu and another juzu when I go back. Okay? And another 100, or I say Subhanallah wa bihamdihi another 100 times when I am moving back to my home. Okay. Now, there are words, there is dhikr that is easy on tongue. It doesn't need concentration. But our problem is our tongues are not used to it. So, for example, saying Subhanallah bihamdi, Subhanallah bihamdi, Subhanallah al-Azim, Subhanallah bihamdi, Subhanallah al-Azim, while you are working, while you are carrying something, putting something, moving from one place to another place.
And the question carries on, Shaykh, just so, because you said this now, is that we don't, do you need to concentrate on the dhikr? The question.
And the point is, with dhikr of Allah Jalla wa'ala, of course, it's better that you do it with concentration. But if you do not concentrate, still do it. And here, see, Brother Jamil, let me say something. You know, some of our brothers are really making ibadah difficult for them. Some of our brothers and sisters. For example, they believe that unless you focus 100% in your salah, yeah, you pray full khushu', full concentration, the place is clean, the place is ready, otherwise they can't make it. Now, as a result, what will happen? They don't pray that much regularly. Why?
Because the conditions are not right for them.
The conditions, where are you going to find these conditions?
It's not practical, basically, you're saying.
It's not practical. So don't make ibadah too tough for you, otherwise you will not make it. You will not say La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir unless you are fully aware of what you are saying. No, who said that? Okay? Yeah? The Prophet ﷺ said, Allah Jalla wa Ala said, Man dhakarani fi nafsi dhakartu fi nafsi wa man dhakarani fi mala'in dhakartu fi mala'in khayran min dhalik. Which means, and the Prophet ﷺ, as it was reported, he used to remember Allah Jalla wa Ala and mention the name of Allah Jalla wa Ala on all circumstances. Yeah? Concentrating, not concentrating, walking, moving, sitting, going to bed, maybe working on your laptop, doing other work. See, when we call, yeah, sometimes, you know, it takes a few minutes before we answer a call. Yeah, say astaghfirullah, subhanallah, alhamdulillah, Allahumma salli wa sallim ala rasulillah, Allahumma salli wa sallim ala rasulillah. Imagine.
Just these small adhkar you're saying, they just keep going and
yes,
become part
this
of your
is
life.
a lot
basically.
of ibadah. This is, yeah, إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار لآيات لأولي الألباب. Who? أولي الألباب الذين يذكرون الله قياما وقعودا وعلى جنوبهم ويتفكرون في خلق السماوات والأرض ربنا ما خلقت
Standing, lying down on their side.
They remember Allah Jalla. And once we get used to that habit, my dear respected brothers and sisters, we will make dhikr of Allah Jalla wa Ala all the time. Not only that, akhi, okay, but even dhikr by your heart. Remembering Allah Jalla wa Ala by your heart. Thinking of Allah Jalla wa Ala. Okay, apart from this, making istighfar by your heart. Feeling sorry that you have committed, say, certain sins. Talking to Allah Jalla wa Ala by your heart that, oh Allah, forgive me. Okay, all of these are good deeds that can be done during the month of Ramadan and outside the month of Ramadan, during work, outside work, during all times. Subhanallah, this deen is so powerful, and there are hundreds of opportunities to get reward, unlimited amount of opportunities for the person to keep repenting, to go back to Allah Jalla wa'ala, to get the maximum, okay, in this month of Ramadan, to get maximum of his or her life.
Jazakallah khair. Okay, we've got so many questions outstanding. We've got about 5 minutes left of the program, but what we're going to do is we're going to take the next question, and then we're going to ask our brothers and sisters to carry on sending the questions, because we're going to, inshallah ta'ala, try to use them for the coming episodes that we have coming up, inshallah, next week and the week after. So please send them in, and we'll try to get them in then. We won't throw any of those away. We're trying to add them on. Okay, Brother Yahya, quite a good question, mashallah, in terms of who is attending to. He said, I have a brother who's a revert. He's been a Muslim for 1 year now, mashallah, tabarakallah, still slowly learning. How should we go about fasting in Ramadan? How should we give advice to him about this? Is maybe his first month of Ramadan.
This is a very, very good question. A very, very good question. We say to these people, okay, the powerful rule that Allah Jalla wa Ala revealed in a very powerful statement, very eloquent, the top speech. اتقوا الله ما استطعتم. Fear Allah as much as you can. So we say to our brothers, okay, if you can fast, fast. Genuinely speaking, it is between you and Allah Jalla wa'ala. If you can fast one day and the other day you become ill or weak or okay, then it is up to you. It is between you and Allah Jalla wa'ala. We are not giving you a fatwa, okay, open check as they say, not to fast. No, we are not saying this. We are saying that it is between you and Allah Jalla wa'ala. Okay? Because imagine, as one brother told me, yeah, he is a revert. Okay, he said, Shaykh, okay, he was on his 40s. He said, I am taking drugs. I started to take drugs at the age of 13. All of my life, I am on drugs. Do you think that if I accept Islam, and he said, once I accepted Islam, immediately, yeah, I will be able to stop drugs and I will be able to fast 19 or 20 hours a day?
But no, of course. It's virtually impossible.
Yeah. So I said to him, don't take an open check from me, okay, that, yeah, it's okay for you. No. I said to him, fear Allah as much as you can. Okay? Because if we make it an open check, then they might be able to fast. They will not put an effort. Yeah? Okay?
Yep.
And they might be able to fast one day, but to break another day. Yeah? They might be able to start fasting until they just collapse. Sorry, I mean, not collapse. I mean, being unable to do it. Yeah? Then at least you got part of the reward. You got the reward of intention. So this is what we say.
So this is advice to the River brothers.
Yeah. And by the way, Imam Malik, once he was asked about they said that they sent him a question that we have, the captives of war. Yeah, they are not Muslims. Some of them, yeah, they work for us, okay, and they like to be Muslims. What do we do with fasting? Yeah, if we just force them to fast, they might not be able to accept Islam. So Imam Malik, he said, what he meant is take it easy with them. Take it easy with them.
Jazakallah khair. Okay, well, Shaykh, we've come to the end of this episode. Jazakallah khair for all of your answers. Inshallah, we'll try to catch up and do more of these programs. Brothers and sisters, this is the end of this special episode, Islamic Council of Europe, mashallah, on these Ramadan Q&As. We're going to try to get them on every week throughout Ramadan, inshallah. Shaykh Haitham's given you some solid advice, and one of those, mashallah, he said right at the beginning, make a plan for this month of Ramadan, like we do for everything we do in life. Take some time out. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us this month, of course, so we can get closer to Him, be more God-fearing. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ.
Let me just mention one quick thing,
please,
very quickly.
Please do.
See, why don't families have a competition among themselves?
Yeah.
How many times you completed the Quran? Yeah? Oh, I completed the Quran 3 times, 5 times, etc. How much you gave istighfar, you make istighfar. How much you gave sadaqah. How did you complete your taraweeh? If you make it within your household, a competition like this, especially the recitation of Quran, wallahi, that will be fantastic.
Yeah, I think these are solid pieces of advice that we need to take. Jazakallah khair again, Shaykh. We're going to be ending this program now. If you've got any more inquiries, please send them to inquiries@iceurope.org. Inshallah ta'ala, we should see you in the coming weeks, inshallah. Don't forget, it's in your du'as, inshallah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept everything from us and also to make us see this blessed month of Ramadan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
The Islamic Council of Europe is a premier service provider in arbitration, reconciliation, and mediation. Providing guidance and solutions based on Islamic principles, the Islamic Council of Europe aims to help Muslims who are seeking to conduct their affairs in accordance to Islamic guidelines. Services include advice and guidance on interpersonal, social, and financial issues, marriage validation or dissolution, and help in resolving disagreements between disputing parties, either among spouses, families, or business partners. All cases are handled by qualified Islamic advisors in the strictest confidence and utmost privacy. The Islamic Council of Europe, providing support, guidance, and solutions.